Good evening, everybody. Jesse Montaño, Meghan Angley. Avs win this one 6-3. 6th goal coming in the final second of the game. Avs knock off the Seattle Kraken. Artturi Lehkonen back in the lineup. He gets a goal, Meghan. Meghan's in the scrum. We got a few questions here from you guys. After this game, Meghan, we're going to start with the one that everyone's curious about, and you might have to give an equally as disappointing answer as Jared Bednar gave. First one from Abby.
It's a great question. You know, it's on the front of everybody's mind, seeing him leave this game and make attempts to return to play and just not be successful in it. Jared Bednar did not have an update on his status, just that he tweaked something and wasn't able to continue playing. I imagine this is a practice day question for tomorrow. Hopefully we'll have more information.
That's all we get for right now. Moving on here from Planet Avalanche. When was the last time we waited 10 minutes for a goal review? Meghan, what happened there?
That was absolutely weird, and I actually want to throw the mic to you a little bit for this one because you saw what happened the whole time and knew that it was a weird initial review that shouldn't have standed, and the fact that it did, at least for a brief second, was extremely concerning because from the bird's eye view that we have in the press box, you could see clear as day this just wasn't offsides because of who initially rimmed that puck around the boards, being Seattle. But I think you deserve some credit here for spotting it from the very jump.
Well, so I believe it was Schwartz who...
Was Yanni Gord?
Oh, you're right. Yanni Gord. It was Yanni Gord. Wrapped the puck around the glass on a shorthanded try. It rimmed the puck all the way around, and Artturi Lehkonen collected the puck in the Seattle zone, and that led to the entire start of the play. I recognized right away that it wasn't offsides because if the defending team is the one who brings the puck back into the zone, you cannot be offside. Artturi Lehkonen could have been standing down at the circles and it wouldn't have made a difference. I was concerned when they made the wrong call because it was the wrong call. It was factually the wrong call. They ultimately got it right. Sounds like Toronto had to get involved. Jared Bednar had to campaign to refs, and Cale Makar had to go track down linesmen, but they ultimately got it right. That was why it took so long. Ended with a Seattle Kraken penalty. Meghan, next question here from Brooke E. How do you feel about the team defense at 5-on-5? Solid low event play or a lot of score effects?
Well, tonight I felt it was lower score effects, and it was because of the commitment throughout more of the game. Like, I look at some of the mistakes that get made, and it's a blip because they were otherwise doing these things very well in their own end, gapping up on guys quickly and defending the net front a lot better. And so the goals against, I think, actually were born either from being shorthanded or just like a small second of not paying attention to those details because I otherwise thought it was good. And that's what I think lended itself to 5v5 possession time in Seattle's end predominantly because the Avs controlled the puck and they were cycling it in the first dominating ozone possession time, spending very little in their own end to have to be worried about. So they suppressed a lot of shots this way. You know, gutsy PK at the end there from Parker Kelly too. So the commitment to the defensive effort, I think, was there for much of this game, and it just didn't allow Seattle to get very dangerous. So I'm really happy with the effort tonight, and I think it's maybe one of the most complete I've seen from this team in a long time.
One of the most complete. I feel like the score reflects that. Thoughts on Annunen? Save percentage heading in the wrong direction, this says, but Jared Bednar put a vote of confidence behind him.
He did, and I felt it was the right call. The way Bednar framed it was he is allowing us to win night by night. You know, it hasn't been a perfect performance if you go game by game. Tonight, there's maybe a couple things that you'd like to see differently, but a couple of those opportunities, you know, one is the shorthanded goal or on the PK, just a little bit difficult for a goaltender. And then the other is off what should have been a cleared puck at the expiry of a PK. That just completely goes a weird direction. Logan O'Connor has the opportunity to clear it, and it just goes off Chandler Stevenson and takes a very weird and different direction, and it leaves McCann alone in the slot. That's just difficult. Like, I am not giving Justus in a complete pass, but they won this game, and they won it handily. So I think that points to the team playing with confidence in front of him and not sweating some of those goals that go in. They're continuing to create chances, and I think the bottom line is they're winning games with Annunen in net. And I look back at Georgiev as a starter kind of in his first year and even in the second one. We sort of settled in this place of he just needs to be good enough, and he was solidly the starter until he wasn't. He just has to be good enough. I still think that as a fan base, I understand people would want a little more expectation of their starting goaltender, but I think the bottom line is we might be holding Eustace to a really tough standard here if we're going to, get really critical on it. As long as they continue to win games and play with confidence in front of him, I have no problem with this performance.
And then we'll round it out here. This one's from Matt. Mikko, rough with the smooth. This was certainly smooth. A goal, 2 goals, lots of opportunities, and good on the back check and defensive plays. You and I have talked about it, Meghan. You live with the bad because of how good the good is with Mikko Rantanen.
This is why kind of been complimenting the 200-foot game, like how being good in their own end lends itself to looking better in the offensive zone. I think this is the Mikko Rantanen story in a lot of ways too, and I've come to his defense a lot that I think there have been things he's doing well that aren't ending in goals. And so I have felt he finally got rewarded for things process-wise that he's been doing well this whole time. But Jared Bednar keyed in on Mikko Rantanen snapping his scoring drought by using the words engaged from the drop of the puck and talking about something about his commitment, right? I think those are important words to take note of when a coach uses them in talking about a player and being happy that he's been rewarded. I do think that with Mikko Rantanen, that is always the story, right? He needs to be engaged start to finish, and so he sort of felt like a microcosm of what's happened with the Avs so far.
There you have it, folks. 6-3 is the final here. I'm with you, Meghan. I thought this was one of the more complete performances we've seen on both the offensive and defensive side of the puck. Avs head to Winnipeg in just a couple days and see if they can't string together a couple wins here, Meghan. She's Meghan Angley. I'm Jesse Montaño. Avs take this one 6-3 against the Seattle Kraken.